Good Wednesday afternoon, and thank you for joining us for 22 News at 4 o'clock. I'm Nick Oresco. Temperatures once again near 60 degrees today, but something we've been talking about all week long. Rain is on the way. Let's bring in 22 News Swim Team meteorologist Brian Lapis now. Brian, another dry day today with that risk of fires still very high, but finally some rain potentially tomorrow.
Yeah, and this is, we've had pretty good persistence with our forecast. You know, even out to 7 days ago, about a steady soaking rain here for tomorrow. And it looks like that's what we're going to get.
Much needed.
Yeah, and maybe even more on Friday. In the meantime, once again, it is a dry and mild afternoon. And as the sun gets lower in the sky, we start thinking about the evening commute, and we're in pretty good shape. Notice I-91 north and southbound in great shape. There is a slowdown at the 291 merge, but that's typical for this time of day. The Pike, both east and westbound on either side of the river, is also running fine. Temperatures, as Nick mentioned, are still in the mid to upper 50s. 58 Westfield and Springfield, 59 right now in Greenfield, and 55 Northampton. Let's take a quick look at the clouds and radar, and you can see we are in the clear here. Just a few scattered clouds. There are clouds off to our east, and there are clouds to our west. Gradually, the clouds are going to fill in here tonight. And we've also got rain, as we've been mentioning, on the way in here for tomorrow. We'll track that hour by hour with our 22 News Storm Team Skycast.
Hartford police have identified a suspect accused of gunning down a young Springfield mother and her 4-month-old son in Hartford. That suspect is still on the loose. An arrest warrant has been issued for 23-year-old Lance Morales. Police said they believe the motive was a dispute over a vehicle and that the victims were the intended targets. The victims have been identified as 20-year-old Josiah Arcado and her 4-month-old baby. Hartford Police Chief today sending a message directly to their suspect.
Lance, I want you to pick up the phone and hand yourself into this department. Because if you do not, I promise you, and I make good on my promises, that you will be apprehended, and I will use all resources to apprehend you.
Morales was last seen driving a white Infiniti with a Massachusetts license plate. He is considered armed and dangerous. If you see him, call 911. A Venezuelan man has been sentenced for the murder and the killing of Georgia nursing student Laken Riley. 26-year-old Jose Ibarra was found guilty and charged with murder this morning in Riley's death in February. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Ibarra had waived his right to a jury trial, meaning that the judge alone heard and decided the case. The killing added fuel to the national debate over immigration when federal authorities said Ibarra illegally entered the U.S. in 2022 and was allowed to stay in the country while he pursued his immigration case. Susan Smith appeared for a parole board for the first time today, 30 years after she was convicted of rolling her car into a lake and drowning her 2 young sons. The 53-year-old was denied parole. Smith's ex-husband and the father of the 2 sons urged the board to deny her request, saying that the 30 years she has served is not enough. Smith was sentenced to life in prison back in 1995. She can ask for parole every 2 years. Well, the brush fire in Gray Barrington has now grown to an estimated 1,100 acres. The fire, which began yesterday near Camp Eisner on Brookside Road, is still in the process of being contained. The Massachusetts chief fire warden says there's no immediate threat to the public and that there are no plans for an evacuation. Overnight, the fire crossed into the town of Sheffield. The closest structures to the fire are a quarter-mile away. And luckily, Brian, rain is on the way for tomorrow. A good amount could help with all these brush fires in our state.
Yeah, you know, what we really need is an extended, soaking, moderate to heavy rain, and it looks like that's what we're going to get. It looks like the heaviest rain is going to happen the first half of the day tomorrow, and we may even see some lingering showers into Friday. I'm kind of putting the cart in front of the horse here, so let's take it one step at a time. Clouds and radar. 3:45, you can see here that we've got just some scattered clouds overhead. It's going to take a little while for the clouds to thicken up. Take a look at our 22 News Storm Team Skycast. There it is, 5 o'clock to 7 p.m. Still the overcast off to our west, but the clouds will gradually fill in after 9 o'clock. There it is. We're mostly cloudy here by midnight tonight. And then the rain arrives, I expect, after 4 a.m. And as it arrives, it's going to be fairly steady. So plan on a wet morning commute here tomorrow. This is 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Rain up and down the valley. Periods of heavy rain are possible mid-morning, and even through the afternoon we'll have rain continuing here. Could even be a little bit of snow here tomorrow night. We'll track that on 22 News at 5.
The Bruins have fired head coach Jim Montgomery. Bruins GM Don Sweeney said, quote, "Our team's inconsistency and performance in the first 20 games has been concerning and below how the Bruins want to reward our fans. The Bees have a losing record at 8-9-3 and have lost 3 in a row. Assistant coach Joe Sacco will now take over as the team's interim head coach. The Bruins host the Utah Hockey Club tomorrow night." The funeral of former One Direction star Liam Payne was held today outside London with his bandmates, parents, and ex-partner in attendance. Payne's family wanted to make the funeral as private as possible with only family members and close friends. The singer died after falling from a third-floor balcony in Buenos Aires at a hotel on October 16th. He was 31 years old. Tonight on 22 News, starting at 5 o'clock, we continue our coverage on the triple shooting in Hartford that left a mother and baby dead, both from Springfield. Plus, at the State House in Boston, Governor Maura Healey signing an economic development bill, how it will make Massachusetts a global leader in emerging industries. And the latest on what could be a strike by EMTs and paramedics in Springfield. And we're also working on details about a possible shooting in Chicopee this afternoon, Brian.
Traffic so far so good here as we begin the evening commute. I-91 north and southbound looking fine. There was a bit of a slowdown at the 291 merge, nothing unusual there. And the Mass Pike is running fine on either side of the Connecticut River from Worcester County to the Berkshires. We'll update the soaking rain on the way for tomorrow, tonight on 22 News at 5.
Brian, thanks. And as always, thank you for joining us for 22 News at 4 o'clock. Latest news and weather anytime on our website and the free 22 News app.